And welcome back once again, everyone. It is the Skating Penguin Network, and it is your host, Robbie. And again, as always, joined by Snail, the evening of March 31st, the final day of March. When you're listening to this, it will be April, and the Penguins have completed a back end of a back to back set that wrapped up the month on Monday and Tuesday. Obviously, yesterday, if you listened to our episode, you will know the Pittsburgh Penguins were coming off a 8-3 victory on Long Island over the New York Islanders, a crucial win in the playoff chase. Well, they were back at it tonight with a game against the Detroit Red Wings, another team on the playoff bubble. But before we jump into the details of that one, as always, as I mentioned, Snail on the other end of the line. Snail, how was your Tuesday and your end of March?
Tuesday was fine. It's a nice day out here in the Pacific Northwest. March, it's been a up and down month, I guess, as a Penguins fan, and that factors into a lot of my mental well being. But other than that, not a whole lot to complain about. How about yourself, Robbie? How did March treat you? And it feels like we just started March, but this year just really whizzed by, man.
That is certainly the case. It does feel like we were just starting March. The Olympics were just ending, and we were getting ready for a gauntlet of a month. And the Penguins ended March, or sorry, they began March on the first with a 5-0 win over the Vegas Golden Knights. At the time felt like a huge statement win, and then over the course, I think they had 17 games over the course of this month. Just a hectic schedule. They had to go on a long road trip out west, and then just a very tough, demanding schedule. But in the end, they get out of it with an 8-6-3 record on the month, and are sitting in great position heading into April in terms of the playoff standings. And tonight in in Pittsburgh, the Detroit Red Wings, a desperate hockey team that were in much worse position than the Penguins were in town. They were rested. The Penguins were making a trip in after a game against the Islanders last night in Long Island, or on Long Island, I should say. It was a win, but it's still a tough game, a tough divisional game, an emotional game. I was wondering how the Penguins were going to come out tonight against a rested Detroit team, and it seemed like the Penguins just picked up where they left off. From Monday night against the Islanders, because they run out to a 3-0 lead in the first period here. Ricard Raquel gets number 20 on the season. Anthony Mantha hits the 30-goal mark for the first time in his career. What a season from the big man. And then Egor Chinikov, another great story for the Penguins, gets his 18th of the year. It's 3-0 after a period. And any rest that the Red Wings had on the Penguins did not seem to matter, because the Penguins, at this point, with these 3 goals, had scored 10 unanswered goals going back to the Islanders game the night before. And it's just, when things are good, things are good. And the Penguins just came out tonight and flat out just took it to what should have been a desperate Red Wings team.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I was expecting a lot more. Fight from the Red Wings in the game tonight. And I mean, there was a lot of scrums after whistles. There actually was a fight um, in this game, but the Red Wings, March is like their kryptonite. It seems over the last few seasons, the Detroit Red Wings have sort of, well, I don't even know if it's actually been March or not. I can't really speak to it, but it seems the last few years the Red Wings seem poised for a playoff berth, and then they seem to sort of crumble right there at the end. And that's kind of been the story of March for them this year. Um, it almost feels like they've been in this rebuild for so long. The quote unquote Iser plan, and I'm not a Red Wings fan. I can't speak to how it's gone or not, but they still haven't made the playoffs, and it almost feels like they're kind of an old team again. Like, I know they've got some, like, Moritz Seider isn't that old, and they've got Marco Casper, and they've got that Simon Edvinson. They've got some young good pieces, but DeBrinket's not like he's not like a that young Chicago Blackhawks DeBrinket anymore. Lucas Raymond's still young, obviously. I'm not trying to say they're exactly long in the tooth, but playing them tonight, watching the Penguins play them tonight, Kane's out there. He's not that effective anymore, man. Like, um, he'll always have that elusiveness and shiftiness, and when he's in around the goal alone, it's a pretty scary sight still. But I guess you could sum it up to, like, I feel like the Red Wings kind of laid an egg tonight, and the Penguins, who are desperate, and we talked about it after the last game, Robbie. Like, the Penguins, they have a lineup there's not a lot of quit in that lineup. They've got the youth. They're led by their veterans still, as they always have been since Sid and Gito entered the league. I like Malkin's on a heater this year. Like, he's had a great year. Sid lost in the Olympics. Like, that guy's got a fire burning. He brings it every night.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, man. It was just to me, it just seems that the last two games, these were quasi playoff games against the Islanders and the Red Wings, and the Penguins simply stated that they are better, which I think that's no shocker, right, Robbie? Like, you think about, like we talked about it yesterday, like the Penguins have been in second place in the Metro for like the majority of the season, and the Islanders and the Red Wings have not. They've kind of been around the wild card conversation more so than not. The Penguins just proved that they're above those teams, and they've been playing a lot of playoff teams. They've been playing a lot of good teams. The Dallas Stars, the Colorado Avalanche. They've took some licks, and they're clearly not that elite team. Like, they're not like a Stanley Cup favorite, let's say. But I think over these last two games, they clearly showed that they're a separate team than those, the Ottawas, the Red Wings, the Islanders. I mean, they put 8 on Sorokin, man. And I don't know if you were scoreboard watching, but Detroit lost tonight, obviously, against Pittsburgh. The Islanders lost to the Sabres. Ottawa lost a big one to Florida.
Yeah, that was probably the worst. If you're ranking, there's a lot of performances tonight that a lot of teams that needed a win didn't get it, but Ottawa, Florida is basically playing an AHL team outside of like maybe Matthew Tkachuk. Even Paul Maurice said today the only injured regular he expects back this season at this point is like Nate Schmidt or something like that. And they're basically playing a AHL lineup. They are in full on giving themselves the best odds for Gavin McKenna. But yeah, it is bad in Florida this season, and Ottawa, who needed a win badly, just completely soiled themselves.
Linus Ullmark led in like 5 goals in one period, man.
Yeah, it was a bad performance from Ottawa tonight.
Columbus just lost. I was just watching them wrap up that game. They lost to Carolina.
Yep.
Kind of a interesting goalie interference called by the Blue Jackets that I think ultimately cost them in the end there. I don't know if you saw that or not, but still don't know what goalie interference is. Don't think we ever will find out. It's as elusive as, whatever, it's just, I don't know if it's not real. It's not tangible. So, but yeah, man, the Penguins, they're doing what they got to do right now, and they're showing up and they're putting 5+ on the board the last couple of nights now, and let the other teams falter. It's what do they got? Like 8 games left?
The Penguins have 7 games left.
7 games left. So,
yep.
Boy, I what was it? Was it 3 games ago? You said they needed, in their last 10, they needed to go 500 to probably be kind of in the safe zone.
Yeah, I think so. And I think now you have 7 games left. I think you need to win maybe 3 of them.
3. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and 6 of your last 7 are against teams out of the playoff picture. Your only playoff team left is actually the team you play on Thursday night when you go to Tampa. But after that, you have 6 games left, 3 at home, 3 on the road. You can't – the opportunities are there. You just got to see it out now.
Skinner was great tonight too, Robbie. Like, I thought Skinner, he made some great saves, some saves that I've seen him not make, this season. And you called it, man. It's like who you riding the rest of the way. I remember you were on board with Skinner. I didn't oppose that at all. I don't know who to play. I was like I don't really trust either of them as far as I could throw them. But as of right now, I don't know. Skinner seemed to have ice in his veins for this one, man. The Red Wings kind of, like I said, laid an egg, but they weren't without their chances. He had a lot of glove saves tonight, so he's obviously seeing. He's the defense is doing what they need to do, so he can see the shots clearly, and he's making the saves he needs to make. So they did not let the Red Wings back in the game after the first period. They got that one goal. Larkin got on the board. And then after that, it was pretty solid play, locked down. So, yeah, man, I don't know what was your. I want to know what do you think of that Soderblom playing the Red Wings, his old club again, and they kind of brought him up. They were like, he's 24, he's 6'8" or something crazy like that. I mean, he fights. He's a good bottom six player. He's kind of got some skill. I think it was Army, or maybe it was I don't know who said it on the broadcast, but they were like, maybe they gave up on this guy a little too early. What'd you think of him?
I mean, I've been impressed by him through whatever handful of games he's played for the Penguins now. He is a tree. Like, he is massive. There is no doubt about that. He is not hard to see on the ice. I don't think anybody's going to be fighting him anytime soon after what he did to Scott Mayfield on Monday night. But he was definitely playing with a point to prove tonight. Like, Detroit, I guess he could say that they gave up on me, but he battled. He had a really good game. He didn't get a goal, but he was all over the ice. He did get an assist, I believe, in the third period on Noel Chari's goal. He did get an assist on that one, but he was all over the ice, just playing like a dog out there, and that's exactly what you want out of your fourth liners. And with Blake Lizotte out, you need a guy to step in, and I thought that Soderblom has played exceptional since stepping into that role. He doesn't use his. He's not, again. He's a lanky 6'8". He's not like a built 6'8". So maybe they need to put a little meat on that frame this offseason. But I mean, he protects the puck so well because he's so big. He can do so much with that long stick and that reach to kind of knock or to keep the puck out of danger. So yeah, he skates well. He sees the ice well. And again, that fourth line is just a meat grinder. And he just stepped right in for Lizotte. He's just been exceptional at doing what has been asked from him. Again, they're not asking him to do anything fancy. Just go out and do his job, take his shifts, protect the puck. And I've been impressed through this stretch of play that he's now been in the lineup with Blake Lizotte out.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Yeah, he's impressive, I think. He's not, lighting the lamp or anything like that, but for the role he's put in, I think he's pretty great pickup again by Dubas. Feels like everything Dubas touches this year has kind of turned to gold.
Yeah, I mean, and the big name there is Anthony Mantha again. He gets to 30. He's the Penguins' leading goal scorer, which, I mean, we weren't even sure if he was going to be healthy enough to play a whole season. Yeah. And Mantha has been an absolute steal of a draft or of a signing. And then the guy that scored after him that we've talked about pretty much endlessly since he came to Pittsburgh, Egor Chinnikov. Those two guys have just been absolutely great finds by Dubas, just hitting them out of the park. I mean, if you look back at the moves he made this year, it's really hard to find one that you're disappointed in. I think the only one that maybe is we have to wait and see a little bit is Sam Girard. The results have kind of been mixed there a little bit. He was hurt for a little while, but if you go through the list here, I mean, bringing back Connor Dewar, getting Elder Soderblom as a fourth liner, getting Jari just out of the picture. Like Stuart Skinner, obviously, that just getting Jari gone would have been enough. Like that alone, and then flipping.
Thank you, Stan Bowman.
Yeah, and then flipping Kulak as well. But if you look at the offseason, Parker Wotherspoon has been important to this team.
Yeah, he has.
Anthony Mantha, obviously, we know all about.
Does he have 29 goals or 30 goals?
Mantha has 30 now. Yep. He had 30 tonight. Justin Brazeau is now at 17 goals. And we haven't even touched on Ben Kindle yet, the draft pick. A great game again tonight. No goals, no points. But just, I mean, he's everywhere. He is everywhere on the ice. And the moves he didn't make this offseason, not trading Raquel, not trading Russ, not looking to move Carlson, just believing in the team he had and the team he built, and hiring Dan Muse is really the cherry on top of everything. And building that entire staff to do what they've done. And now you look at Toronto, who just fired the guy that they brought in to replace Kyle Dubas 3 years ago, and where these two teams are right now. The Penguins were supposed to be rebuilding or retooling on the fly, and they're still doing that. But you have a team like the Maple Leafs where the goal is win the Stanley Cup, and they are on the brink of being eliminated. They are only a few points away from being eliminated right now. And it's just been an otherworldly season for the Penguins. This is these two games combined with pretty much a clean sweep across the board tonight for the Penguins in terms of other teams losing. You had Buffalo beating the Islanders in regulation. You had Florida beating Ottawa in regulation. The Penguins winning in regulation. Washington beating Philly in regulation. And Carolina beating Columbus in regulation. It all, like, you could not have drawn up a better result for the Penguins. I mean, they are.
What a gift today was, huh?
Yeah, it was. You could not have, like, the past 24 hours for the Penguins have been the best 24 hours they've had in a long time. And
since 2017.
What a reward for the month they just went through with all the injuries to come out of that 8-6-3. Just a Warriors effort. They were without Crosby for a while. They were without Malkin for a while. They were without Blake Lizotte for the end of this month. The goaltending was hit or miss some nights, and they still come. And they played Colorado twice. They played Carolina 3 times. They played Vegas twice. They had to play Utah. They played Boston twice. Just a massive effort from the Penguins this month. And now we are into the final 7-game stretch, and they could not be in better position at this moment. 92 points. They are, I'm going to think that they're going to win, or they're going to hit the 100-point mark this season, which would be, we thought they might get 70 points at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
A complete resurrection of a franchise that was just not good last year. And, hey, credit where it's due to Kyle Dubas, Dan Muse, and the players themselves. Hey, we're so close now, and the job's not done. You still need to rack up some points, but the schedule lightens up. You made it through the gauntlet. Let's enjoy these last 7 games, and let's get back to Stanley Cup playoff hockey.
Oh man, a spring with Pittsburgh playoff hockey, dude. Like, it's been a few years, and that would be just that'd be incredible, man.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Honestly, like, with the nice weather coming around, and this might seem so just like not a big deal, but like working outside and then like looking at my phone and being like, all right, we got a half an hour till the game starts, going to wrap up here a little bit early and get home, because Penguins hockey right now is must watch. And the last few years, if I was at a point, this sounds dumb, but it's like, if I was at a point working outside, I'd be like, they're out of it. So it's like maybe I'll throw it on my headphones and listen, but like I got to get this done. But now it's like, yeah, I'll refill the paint sprayer tomorrow. I'm gonna go home and watch this game and grab a snack and just tune in and chill. Not really chill. These games are stressful, but yeah, man, it's awesome. I can't wait for it, but they got to keep winning, man. They got to keep getting these points. Like you can't hope that like the Islanders and the Red Wings and well, yeah, I guess you could throw the Red Wings, like the Columbuses. Honestly, give me Philly. Philly's kind of on a charge right now. I think they're 3 points out. Wouldn't it be kind of sick
losing tonight?
Oh, they did lose tonight to Washington?
Yeah, they lost. Yeah, so they're kind of that's a tough loss for them.
Yeah, that's kind
of not because the Washington's pretty well out of it now. They have too many teams that they need to jump, and they don't have games in hand on anyone. But the Penguins or the Flyers, they're basically they don't have a good tiebreaker either. The Flyers are really they only have 23 regulation wins, which puts them behind literally everybody in front of them. They have the lowest amount of regulation wins. Hold on, they actually have.
They'd have to basically win out then.
They have besides Toronto, actually, the only team with less regulation wins than Philadelphia is the New York Rangers. So yeah, they need to basically win out, but they need teams to lose as well. Like it's not just about because winning out at this point with 8 games left. So yeah, you're only at 102 points. You're basically going to have to win out and have everybody else really, really stumble. But so I don't. They're sliding. Detroit is sliding. Ottawa, that's just a bad loss. Boston is definitely creeping closer to being in. But yeah, there's still work to do, and it continues on Thursday night. You got to go to Florida. It is you've played or not Florida. They got to go to Tampa, which is in Florida.
It's a hostile environment.
Yeah, you're playing a team that got embarrassed by Montreal tonight at home. A team that is still fighting for first place in that Atlantic division with Buffalo. So they still have a lot to play for. Kucherov, who's just been on a tear the last 6 weeks since the Olympics. It's going to be a tough game, but if you can go down there and steal one and you're suddenly at 3-0 on this week with 2 games against the Panthers over the weekend, you got to be feeling good. You got to be feeling good now. I'm sure that they're breathing a little bit easier tonight, but you're right there now. It's just about closing the door.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if they could go down to Florida, just take 1 game outright, I'd be pretty pleased with that outcome. Tampa, I feel like they kind of do this thing where when they play a contender, they really, not to say that they necessarily take their foot off the gas for a lesser team, but I mean, you look at the way that they play playoff teams, sometimes it just seems that they're trying to set a precedent. And I think that it's going to be, I don't want to say a war necessarily or a bloodbath down there, but I'm anticipating a very intense game out of Tampa Bay. And you just hope that the Penguins can keep sticking to their game, play their own game, don't get dragged into that fight. They're a tough team, man, physically tough. And the Penguins, they can play tough, but this isn't 80s hockey. The Penguins are a fast, skilled team, relentless team.
Yeah.
And they can, I feel like they've fared somewhat well against Tampa, even during the kind of bad years, the last few bad years that they've had. So if they can go down there and just come back from Florida without anyone on the IR, and give me 500 hockey in Florida, I think that's a win. 2 points, I don't care how.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're in just perfect position now. They've done a lot of heavy lifting these last few weeks, and especially this. I mean, getting those 2 wins is absolutely vital to to getting closer to that playoff spot, obviously. And now you have the opportunity to really go make a statement the rest of this week. You have 3 games, 2 at home, back to back over the weekend against Florida. The Tampa game, I mean, if you go down in Tampa and just get a result, whether it's an overtime loss or whatever, just getting anything out of that game is a win. Luckily, you get a day off before you have to focus on that. But yeah, I mean, everything is on the table for them right now. You know what's ahead of you. It's really just about strapping the helmet on, lacing the skates, and going and getting it done at this point. You've done it all year to this point. You've proved the doubters wrong. You might as well finish the job because it's all there for the taking. They put themselves in this position. Now it's just time to put a bow on top, get that little X next to your name, and start planning for some playoff hockey, which we have obviously so dearly missed.
Yeah. I'm just curious. I don't know why, but I keep coming back to it. How did Florida mollywop Ottawa 6-3 tonight? Like, was that solely on the – I mean, I didn't watch the game. I did see a curious scene, however, on social media that Ullmark let in 5 after kind of pulling himself like the last game. He kind of just said, I'm not playing. Travis Green had some words for him and just said, I want to play him, but he doesn't want to play right now or something like that. And then tonight he lets in 5 and he's got this huge grin on his face as he's getting pulled, or not even getting pulled. Maybe, I think just after the goal win, and he's like smiling. And I just am curious, like, has Linus Ullmark maybe lost his mind, or like, is there trouble in Ottawa of some sort? I know there was some crazy drama, speculation, sort of rumor mill TMZ stuff coming out of that team earlier in the year. And he took a leave also at one point. So I'm just wondering, like, Ottawa, you got a guy like Brady Tkachuk who, I mean, talk about a leader, talk about a foxhole guy, just a true. He's like, if you want someone on your hockey team, you want a guy like Brady Tkachuk. I'm just curious, like, after a game like tonight, I don't know. I'm baffled that the game ended like that and that he's kind of at the forefront of it.
Just looking through the box score on this game, he gave up 5 goals on 16 shots. He got pulled after the 5th goal. He only played 14:36 before getting yanked. He gave up, all those goals he gave up a goal 8 seconds into the game. And then it just spiraled from there. Another goal less than a minute later after that. And it doesn't seem like much of anything was really going Ottawa's way in this game. I can only tell so much from the box score, but from what I can see, it was pretty ugly, especially going up against a team in Florida that was starting Vinny Hinostroza, Cole Ryan, former Penguin, something called Mackie Samoskevich.
Oh, Samoskevich. Mackie Samoskevich.
Matthew Tkachuk had a big game in this one. But Mike Benning was playing on defense. Donovan Sabrango was one of the defensemen, and the goaltender was Daniil Tarasov. So I'm not quite sure. A lot of those guys I've never heard of before in my life.
The goalie wasn't Bob or who's their other goalie? It was Tarasov.
Daniil Tarasov.
Isn't that the former Flyer?
27. Trying to see here. He doesn't have. He was drafted in the. There. Let's see if I can find his. It doesn't say what. No, he played for Columbus for 4 seasons, and then this is his first season with the Panthers. He's 9-14-2 this year. He has a .310 goals against and an .897 save percentage, and had a pretty decent night. Not a great night, but he wasn't exactly tested very. He would given a 5-0 lead. He held it together pretty good after that, but
crazy.
Yeah,
the Florida Panthers are probably kind of pissed. I'm sure that Bill Zito or whatever is looking down, going, We could get Gavin McKenna here on entry-level contract and go for another cup run when everyone's healthy next year. Thanks a lot, Tarasov, standing on your head.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just baffling. You think a team like that? I don't know. I mean, the Penguins. You remember, like, I almost don't want to even. You know what? I'm not even going to say it. But yeah, we've all seen Penguins teams not go out there and grab what's theirs, and yeah, just seeing some of the scores tonight. I mean, I'm happy to see that, like, the Islanders. You know, they were down 1 goal with like a minute left, and then Bowen Byram gets the empty netter and kind of seals the deal. So I'll take it. It's just usually things don't go this well.
No, I mean the Penguins could not have drawn up a better slate of results tonight. On top
Sid
of
and Gino haven't even scored yet.
No, I mean Crosby had an assist tonight. Malkin had an assist tonight, but no goals from either of them. I believe Malkin is now a point away from 1,400 on his career. Sidney Crosby is still a point behind Steve Yzerman. He needed 2 to get him.
Wouldn't that have been poetic tonight?
So I mean, I was kind of hoping that he got it. He got it tonight, but he did not. He only got the 1 point. Yeah, Malkin's at 1,399 points now. 1 more point for 1,400. So, a couple milestones to hit yet this season as they march toward a playoff berth.
Imagine if Gino came over the season after he got drafted instead of waiting the extra year. Imagine that. He would have been probably could have chalked him up for 100 points ahead of where he'd be at right now, right? Probably close to 100 points.
Yeah, if he was Malkin, or if he was a rookie with Crosby, you could probably throw in at least 90 more points there at the minimum.
Safely 90.
So he'd be pushing 1,500 points, but not quite the case. I hope he can get to 1,500 he plays another year or two, but no.
Well, I heard he wants maybe 2 years, and look, honestly, regarding that whole thing, with the way Malkin plays when he comes back from a little like time off, like from like an injury or like a whatever, I wouldn't even mind the load management type of thing with Malkin, just the way he plays when he's got a little rest. Like tonight, dude, he was amazing tonight. And yeah, he only got an assist, but just the way he was moving the puck on the power play and getting open, like, dude, he's wheeling around out there. He's not like Ovi, who's in one spot and he moves 3 strides every shift. I mean, you saw it tonight. Malkin looks damn good out there.
He does. Yeah, there's definitely nothing you can really say about the way Malkin plays that is a negative right now. I mean, he's just playing good hockey.
And is there a correlation between Chinakhov popping and having good games when Malkin's? I mean, not to say Chinakhov's had bad games lately, but I feel like when Malkin's in the lineup, he's got a little extra pep in his step, even though they're not playing on the same line right now. I just feel like him and, I don't know, maybe they like have a little Russian camaraderie thing going and they get fired up before the game.
Yeah, tough to say. They definitely have some. They were playing really well together. Now Chinakhov got some action on the top line with Crosby the last 2 games, but
yeah, he did.
He definitely plays well with Chinakhov and Malkin. Definitely play well together. So,
do you think Malkin and Sid ever like argue over who they want on their line? Like, do you think when Chinakhov got bumped up to the first line, Malkin's like, dude, like, why do you always get the hot hand? Like, give me someone.
Yeah, I don't know, because like Malkin. I mean, Crosby, it's always like consistent when everybody's healthy. It was like forever, it was Rust, Gensel, and Crosby. And then for a while, it was Rust, Sherry, and Crosby before Gensel really broke in to the fold. Kunitz and Crosby and Dupuis were inseparable for the longest time.
Neal and Malkin.
Neal and Malkin played well together because Neal was a shoot first, and that's what Chinakhov's kind of a shoot first. Quick release type player, so he works well with Malkin. So it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward here. Rust was a late scratch tonight, so Rust did not play in this game. Lower body, they're saying it was a very late scratch on this one, so hopefully it's not too serious. Obviously, they need Brian Rust.
They do, but don't worry, they have Rust 2.0 and Avery Hayes.
Yeah, Hayes. I thought Hayes played a good game again tonight. He scored against the Islanders. I thought he played another good game. He plays really well with Ben with Ben Kindle.
Yeah,
And
they do, man.
that duo works really well for the Penguins. So it's going to be pretty much just like, I don't mind mixing it up a little bit, but you're obviously going to want something more solid as we get into the playoffs. But hey, we a little work to do yet. But man, after the last 2 games, if you're a Penguins fan, you have to be feeling pretty good about where everything stands heading into the last what'll be basically 2.5 weeks of the season.
So as far as the schedule goes, when is the Penguins' next hockey game?
Thursday night.
Oh, okay. So
it's Thursday, Saturday, Sunday to wrap up this week.
And they play Thursday. They play Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And then Saturday, Sunday they play who?
Florida.
Florida twice?
Yeah, both at home.
They play Florida 2 times in a row in PPG.
Yep, not something you see very often.
That is weird, but yep. You know what? Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. Yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy to play. They play well at home. They are this year. They are 18. Well, they're 18, 12, and 8 at home. They're actually a little bit better on the road, but they've been playing well at home as of late. And I'll take the home games.
So then after that they'll only have like 4 games or so left, and then
then they have 4 games left after that: New Jersey, Washington, and St. Louis.
Well, Robbie, it's gonna. It's not like they're just coasting in here. It's gonna be, they got to keep playing well, but damn, is it exciting!
It is. Finally, it feels really good. It feels really good to be talking about this and not wondering how are we going to get through these next 7 games, what to look for, where are they going to be?
Who are they calling up?
Who are they calling up? Are they going to be in bad enough position? Are they going to be in the right position to get the best draft pick? Not talking about that this year.
No,
talking about playoff hockey, which
they're too good, man. They can't. Yeah. They're too good this year. They've despite the outside noise of what other experts think or whatnot on what the team has or doesn't have. No one said that they were going to be maybe a lottery team this year as far as what those guys were all saying, kind of what we were thinking.
Yep.
But they've been firmly in the playoff race all season. It's not like they've ever really been out of it. Maybe at some points wild card spot or maybe, but they've firmly been in that second place spot most of the year. And
they have.
You get down to this part, I mean, it makes me a little nervous with the backlog going on just below them. Kind of that's going to be a dogfight to the finish. But
yeah,
I just feel like the Penguins, they've got a different kind of air about them this year. And they're too good to kind of falter and just become they make things hard on themselves. We talk about it all the time, but it seems that when they need the right outcome, they tend to really dig in, and they're a good team this year. So, like you said, we just got to get through these games, man, and hope for just keep picking up points where you can, and their strength of schedule isn't that bad. So I don't know. I think it's it should be a good week, rest of the week here.
Absolutely, get back to it Thursday night. Penguins Lightning.
And we will be there to cover it.
We will.
Other than that, Robbie, I don't really have a whole lot going on. I don't got much else to talk about.
All right. So if that's all Snail's got, that's about all I got. The Penguins knock off the Red Wings 5-1. They now sit at 92 points with 7 games left. A 3-point cushion over the Islanders with a game in hand. A 4-point cushion over the over the Blue Jackets on even games played, and a 6-point cushion over the Senators and Red Wings, though both of those teams do have games in hand over the Penguins. But luckily the Penguins hold a big tiebreaker advantage on a lot of these teams, so that definitely helps out as well. But the Penguins are now back in action Thursday night in Tampa Bay. As always, another big game, but we'll be here to talk about it after it's done. So for Snail, I'm Robbie. You guys enjoy your day off tomorrow, and we'll talk to you after the Penguins wrap up against the Lightning on Thursday night.